Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the Carry On With Carrie podcast. Today, I thought it would be kind of a good chance, being that it's episode 25, that we did a little bit of a recap and show some snippets of episodes 1 to 5. It's evolved since the first recordings, and it's kind of exciting to hear your progress, or to hear how many times I said yeah and oh and yep or awesome. Anyways, I just thought I'd highlight a few of the things that I thought were kind of cool about my first few episodes. And the first one is a little snippet of what I kind of wanted to bring to the show. I want to hear from people what will make you feel better, what not just about what you went through, but how you got through it, and some tools to bring people forward, because that's oftentimes what is lacking, I believe, in mental health. Especially for those that are stuck, it's hard to get that next step. It's hard to take that leap, which for a lot of people, it is an actual leap. It's not just that first little tiny step. It feels like a leap. And I just want to be here to support, encourage, and add a little bit of insight to something that's been far too long ignored. I know there's a lot of different podcasts and places that you can go to hear about different perspectives, but this is something it just means so much to me. Welcome to Carry On With Carrie. This is episode 1 of my brand new podcast. I am super excited to get going with this. It's something that I've planned to do since before the new year. It's something I talked about, but didn't actually get the talking going. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Ting, and I'm so honored and so excited to be here. My first venture into podcasting. I am a yoga teacher, a trauma-informed yoga teacher, and similar to Carrie, an advocate of health and wellness, holistic wellness, as well as self-love. So in this journey, I am hoping I can be of a little assistance to Carrie as she talks to you about this stuff. So yeah, honored to be here.
Hello everyone, welcome to Carry On With Carrie. This is episode 2, May 18th, 2023. And Ting is here with me again. I'm so excited to do this with you.
Yeah, me too. I'm at one point, and maybe several points in my life. When I was so young, when I was in middle age, and at this, advanced ripe age, there's so many points, so many markers that felt that I entered the dark hole, the deep hole of my life. And then I wanted to move because I miss moving. I used to be a competitive dancer. Maybe that's part of it. And then I found yoga when they offered free, trial week, a 1-week trial for free in where I live. So I tried that, and I felt at ease. And I think, honestly, the best part is dark. It was dark,
Right.
And I didn't know anybody, and I felt that it's more of an out-of-body experience, that I can move. And there was some point that I was almost crying. And I was, trying to tell and console my former self that it's going to be okay. And by moving and doing this, the warrior poses and the yoga poses, especially the Shavasana.
I was about to ask, what is the best? Yeah.
Shavasana is the most important pose.
Okay.
I will say that to you as a yoga instructor, because that's where you put everything together, that it's, that you're grateful of this body, because this body is the most amazing thing you'll ever own.
It's yours.
Whether it's
This is
yours.
your temple.
Yeah,
That's
it's your
right.
temple.
Yes.
And the breath.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I answered the question.
No, you did 100%. I think that's awesome, and that's what this is about, just talking, right? So
Yes.
if it goes down to, but I do want to ask if you can tell the viewers and explain what Shavasana is.
Yeah,
like what
it's-
pose is that?
It's Shavasana. It can be opening, the middle, or the end of the yoga sequence. It's actually literally meant corpse pose.
Okay.
I know. So it's the end. It's like, once you put together all the practice that you did and what you felt in your body and what you want to feel, and you're present and your breath is all together, and just lying there and just letting it go. Yeah, and just feeling it out. That's Shavasana for me.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Carrie On With Carrie. I am lucky enough to be in the presence of 2 beautiful ladies. I have Tabitha here with me and my friend Ting as well.
So the Akashic Records, we all have our own specific records. So it's basically your library of all lifetimes. So your past, your present, your future. So there's no question that's offside. You can ask anything that you want in there, and your guides and loved ones and the records reveal themselves to me. So it is a very intimate experience but it's a completely unconditional love and absolutely no judgment zone, right? But what's really nice about the Akashic Records is we can get to the bottom of why we are the way we are, right? Why do I keep spiraling and doing the same thing over and over and over again? And I've been doing work and can't get through. And sometimes it's those past lives that have crept up, or it's the social programming that we're living in, right? And
Diet.
stuff. Diet. And it's everything, but diet comes into everything. It comes into what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you're watching on TV. That's all part of your diet. It is, and who your friends are.
Yeah.
Who are you hanging out with, and what are you talking about? Are you just bitching? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Are you staying in a negative atmosphere because that feeds the ego? Right?
Yeah.
So the Akashic Records are very, very beautiful and divine. And I've always done subconscious reprogramming. I do access bars, Reiki, so a lot of different spiritual modalities. So they all kind of encompass each other. But I was doing subconscious reprogramming the long way, right? Where you would do macros and you would basically run code to get people out of their head. And in the Akashics, my guides came in, or like, why are you doing it the long way, right? Because that was with doing muscle testing and getting to the root of the cause and really, really digging. But if you're asking questions and trying to get to the bottom of it, they're like, well, why do you need to know that? Why do you need to know where it came from? Why would you do it? Why would you stay stuck in the mud when literally your brain is a computer and you're just replacing either fuses or chips?
Right.
So, we need to up our confidence. We need to up, let's remove that. That one's burnt out. And grab a brand new one out of your specific Akashic records. So your library, you go and grab a brand new fuse or chip that you want to insert and download into yourself, right? So it's really, really cool. And it's hard to explain, but once you've experienced it, it's life-changing because
I guess this is something that I'm quite passionate about because I have a lot of experience personally and professionally working with people, their loved ones, families, friends who have had, I guess, crisis or issues that have come up that are related to mental health. we can have as simple as a car accident, which is not really simple at all, and that creates trauma, which then can cause a lot of different things that happen in terms of our mental health, our wellness. My daughter and I were in a car accident actually about 2 years ago, and she still struggles if she sees a car that's going to turn in front of us, kind of a left-hand turn. And yeah, these things are triggers, and it happens just the simplest thing. It could be like schoolyard bullying, whatever that might be. Yeah, so it's quite personal. And in terms of a professional sense, I've worked with so many children and families that have been impacted by trauma, addictions, mental health, domestic violence, a ton of different issues. So I see that the importance of sharing what we can do to lift ourselves up, and it has helped me so much to think about and normalize some of the things that I didn't realize were impacting me. Right. And for example, anxiety, and the fact that actually that comes from a state of alarm, physiological alarm within our bodies, and we respond to that, and the response and the behaviors kind of are conditioned, and then we revisit old patterns of behavior which maybe aren't healthy anymore.
Right. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Carry On With Carrie. Today is June 8th, 2023, and I am really excited to welcome Pat Kinney to today's podcast.
Hello.
Yes.
Definitely.
June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, so I'm so grateful that you were able to come here today.
Oh, yeah.
It means so much to me that to have the male perspective on this, to get rid of the stigma.
Yeah.
So
I agree. It's important to share your feelings and like get yourself out there, and the more you do that, more support you will have, or you'll find the support. Especially nowadays, everything's going on out there and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think the more people that come to terms and start loving themselves and seeing what they want and not what other people want is really important for everybody. And not only that, it'll help relationships. It'll help their family relationships, their non-family relationships, like friends. You know what I mean? Friends, some are family too, right?
Yep.
So I just believe it'll help. It'll help so many things. It's important to me because I would say my feelings, and then I would hold back my feelings of certain people, and I don't think that's right. Mm-hmm. I think that can be toxic even for yourself, right? For doing that.
Yep.
And then I think you should say it just no matter what. Just get it out there, because what's going to happen? They don't like it. If they don't like it, that's not our problem.
Yeah, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Exactly. So if you say what's on your mind, it'll I've noticed it will like attract the right people back in your life, especially what I do now. I have and it's becoming like every day is just really happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everyone's smiling. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Right. And then I'm always like, okay, when's the crash gonna come? But that's really in my horrible to think like that. Right.
Right.
So I'm just like manifesting not to think like that. But I have my moments, and I also learned in those moments it's okay to feel that. It's okay to think that, but don't dwell on it. Right. The benefits will come later, and it's not just like more helping people, more money, like honestly, like more of that stuff. You're building your craft, right? It's the same thing with the mind. It's the same thing with the body. Start working on it now, and then by the time you get to 70, 80, it'll be easy for you. Right. You'll have even a better life than you ever thought because you did the work at a younger age. Right. But if you see the end result, the middle part, the beginning, will take care of itself. Right.
You put in a lot of your posts that I've noticed. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I do.
Yeah.
Because I believe because if you do that, I don't know why my eyes are watering a little bit, but like I say if you keep going, like what's gonna stop you? Like just if you don't do it, go. Yeah. Whatever your mind says no, do it anyway. Right. Unless you're sick or something, like having a bad cold or something. Yeah. Take a break. Yeah. But like just keep going. And I notice that when sometimes I don't want to train. I go to the gym. I have the best workouts ever. Right. You know what I mean? It's just me that day being lazy.
And it's
You know what I
that
mean?
5 seconds, 5 minutes, like you said, of like, okay, why am I not gonna go?
Yeah, and I learned that. I forget the lady that said that. She's like, you have 5 seconds. 5 seconds. And I use that all the time now.
Right.
As soon as I wake up. Sorry, it was 5 seconds to choose what you want your day to be like when you wake up.
Yeah.
And you have 5 minutes to kind of see if you can solve that solution. If you can't, and you only have like that one solution, that's probably the solution.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these last two portions of episode 25, this is just part 1, are a little bit of a funny part with me and Pat Kinney. Just freaking made me laugh, so I had to add it in at the end of this one again just to highlight it. And then the very last one may bring a few tears to you, and it's just some personal work and poetry from a dear friend of mine. I think it's the perfect way to end this episode. So thank you all for listening so far. I'll have the rest of the little highlights and stuff coming up in the next few days, but please just enjoy this moment ending off the episode. Give me a follow on Carry On With Carrie podcast on Facebook, Carry On With Carrie _podcast on Instagram, and of course, give me a follow on Spotify. And if you feel inclined to share, let's get that word out one person at a time. Do I have to look at you?
No.
I don't know what.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, it's probably horrible.
That's awesome.
Okay. Now I'm gonna keep that recording.
I've been on a ride for a long time. Carrie, if you cry, I'm gonna cry.
Tissue paper.
Okay. So I told you what I lived with my mom, and she was actively suicidal. The last time, actually I'll share, the last time she attempted, my son was not quite 1 year old, and she left in a rage from my home, and I was pretty certain she was going to be very vindictive and try and strike out at me. And she even told me that I would, what did she say? She said that I would regret whatever it was that we were fighting about. And so she ended up, she would be horrified if she knew I was saying any of this, but when she left, she drove up into the mountains, and she tried to take her life. She tried to kill herself. And I knew, I had a feeling. I ended up phoning family members, but I was paralyzed in those moments, and I wasn't able to actually react and call mobile mental health. Like, oh my God, this is what I said. If it's somebody professionally, I would have known exactly who to call and how to do it. Yep. But in that moment, I was paralyzed. And anyways, she was found 3 days later. She did survive, but we've had a very rocky relationship since, because I started putting up really super healthy boundaries. And this was like 15 years ago. Right. And so it's been a journey. So I wasn't going to read the first part, but I think I'm going to read it just because it's so important. Being a loved one of somebody who's struggling either with depression, suicide, any type of mental health. So the first part is called heartbreak, pain, waiting, holding my breath, listening at your door for a movement, for a breath. Is today the day? Is today the day that I lose you? Is today the day I lose my mind? Is today the day I lose my fear and it will all go away? So that's listening at a door, not knowing if somebody's alive. And then the second one is hostage taking. And this is that journey that is never ending, I think, and why it's so important to get help and support as a supporter. Again, it's called hostage taking. I'm buckled in. The bar is lowered and there is no getting out until this ride is over. Doesn't matter how much I want to get off. The highs and the climb to the top seems a sweet relief. But then we plummet. We hurtle to the next bend in this journey and the world flips upside down, topsy-turvy, heart smashing, fear rising, stomach churning, don't know where I am, wind whipping, whole body jarred. The world seems to be a crazy rush. And then we rush to the end, slamming to a hard stop. Sweet relief, it's over. It will be okay. We will be okay. You will be okay. A life lived. A life loved. A life full of hope. A love and light. But wait, I'm buckled in. The bar is still lowered, and there's no getting out until the ride is over. And that is my journey. It's not everybody's journey, but that's been the crazy wild ride of trying to be a helper, to try to be a supporter, to try and be a loved one, and realizing we have a choice, actually. We have a choice on how we handle those situations, and we can choose, actually, to not get on the roller coaster. We might have to be walking beside the person who's on the roller coaster, but what's so important is that we get off the roller coaster ourselves, get the support, get the help,
Get off.
and change that journey and change that pattern for yourself. And as you do that, you support other people.